What?
He's wearing them so much, he's already wearing spots on them.
Cool. Do you like them? Good.
I like them.
Let me see.
I need a pair of cowboy boots.
Show Grandpa.
You like them? Yeah. They fit me?
No, tell him, say, look, you're in the kitchen and they stomp real loud.
Please, can I have a pair of cowboy
I
boots?
don't know what you did with it.
That's what I want.
Sure. Sure. We'll take back everything we've got and get you cowboy boots.
Oh, you already got all everything?
Whole little truck full.
Nuh-uh. Is it in my trunk?
No.
In Dad's trunk?
I'm joking, we don't have anything.
You get nothing for Christmas.
You've been bad this year.
You've been bad to the bone.
Yeah, that's me.
Kind of fix me up. Pepsi, will you, with some ice in the grass? Yeah.
Use hand sanitizer before you touch it.
Love you, and I will love you until you learn to listen.
Can you do that without singing?
No way.
I don't believe I give up my day job for you.
Yeah, it's in that floor. Wait till Mom gets out there. Wait till Mom gets out there. Come on, she gets ready and then you'll get stuff.
You think you didn't when you was that age?
Do what?
You think you didn't when you was that age?
Oh, no, I know I did. That's why I'm going away from Mom. Yeah, here comes the You're going home, right?
So we lost that $9,000?
No. They have, we'll find it. And I don't know if it's 9, the most it can be is 7. The most it can be is 7.
I'd rather have 9.
Yeah, it's probably higher than that. We're still working on it.
I'll come up with 5 out of that whole list.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, you meant stories. Ask them about some of these stories. You don't have to be.
So what's some of your famous stories?
You don't want you all to be all prompted. Seems like you don't.
I don't know. I've got a bunch of them.
Tell me
I
one.
just need somebody to talk to.
Do what?
Favorite Saturday is starting to have your
My name's Lori.
I'm supposed to ask you about some stories.
My name's
So we're
Lori.
here.
Powell, Powell. Where's the paperwork?
I haven't heard of
Last name?
Steve drawing on Kenny.
P as in Paul.
Steve drawing on Kenny.
O-W. P as in Paul, O-W-E-L-L. Hello? 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 Powell, P as in Paul, O-W-E-L-L. What is our what? 765-981-2996. First I need to know, what was your name? Melanie? Okay, Melanie, I have been told to call you and ask to speak to a supervisor, please. Okay, we called the first time, waited a good 15 minutes before we got a hold of a Roxy. Roxy told us that his shares had been transferred over to this other place, give us another telephone number. We called them, was on hold again for a good 15, 20 minutes. They told us they have no records of his, told us to call you back and ask to speak with a supervisor.
Now, what was that, Kenny
The
Drive?
Zimmer Holdings Incorporated.
Kenny, Steve drawn on Kenny. I don't remember this one. All
Stock
right, let's
company,
hear.
It's employee stock purchase plan is what I'm getting at.
Let's hear.
Zimmer,
Where is this?
Zimmer Holdings, Inc.
Let's hear about the monster fishing trip.
Oh, that was up in Webster.
Webster.
North Webster.
Really?
That's a good story.
Let's hear it. I haven't heard this whole thing.
Going fishing, going on a fishing trip.
Yeah.
Around the half lake up North Webster. Started out me and Kenny and Steve and Lenny and all of us, but everybody dropped out except me and Dad.
Really?
So me and Dad went to North Webster. We unloaded we had a camper, I don't know, we didn't have a camper, we just had a
That's
truck
fine.
with
The other
a
company
boat.
that took this over says they have no record. And I have a statement in hand dated 6/30/2012.
So we unloaded the boat,
Showing that he still had
And,
107 stocks. 108.
went out on the lake, and this lake, it was muck all the way out, geez, from here to the barn.
Really?
You had to go through the muck to shove through that. Got out on the lake and we were fishing. We was catching some pretty nice fish.
Really?
And finally they quit.
And who is this?
They quit biting. So Dad says, you want to try another part of the lake?
And they're not part of you?
I said, yeah. I said, so,
I'm sorry?
hang on a minute, I gotta see what she said.
Yeah.
Please.
Anyway, so we're fishing and pretty soon he said, yeah. So I'm reeling my pole in and pretty soon I'm gonna fly out of the boat. I mean, hit the water, went under the water. And when I come up, there's the boat level full of water. And Dad's nowhere around.
Wait, so you just fell off the boat?
I just went flying out of the boat.
Really?
And I come up and there's nothing around. There ain't nothing nowhere except me, the lake, and the boat full of water. Dad's gone. Everything else is gone. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
there'll be some kind of lake monster here.
Yeah.
Because then something just upset us and towed me out, and whatever it was got Dad.
That's
And
great.
I'm panicking pretty good, you
Yeah.
know, scared. And finally, I swam around the other side of where the boat was, but the boat was always taking out of water that far, so I could see over it. But I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm missing something. Swam around cold. Oh, it was cold as it is today.
Really?
Yeah, and Dad had just had a heart attack not very long before this. And I swims around. Pretty soon here come Dad up, spitting water, and he'd been under for a long time.
Mhm.
So I went around and got hold of him. And like I say, we're out in the middle of the lake, so I got him, I said, now I'm gonna go around and counterbalance the boat, because this boat's supposed to be unsinkable, you ain't supposed to be able to sink it. So I counterbalanced it. Dad crawled up in the boat full of water, but still he was up out of the water and he didn't have to swim. And I took off swimming towards the bank, and she said it's probably as far as from here in the pole barn or farther
Really?
to the bank on the other side of where we was camped. So I'm swimming and pulling the boat and pulled Dad over. Got over to the bank and then emptied the boat. Of course, we lost all our fishing tackle and all our fish and everything. So we come back, so to get back, I gets in there, boy, and I'm paddling back, and we gotta go through that muck and everything. I got back, threw that boat in the back of the truck, throwed everything we had left back in the truck, and took off for home. On the way home, Dad says, what'd you jump in for? I said, I never jumped in. I was thrown in. What happened? He said, well, you know, I told you he was going to move. And I said, yeah. He said, well, I pulled the anchor up, and the anchor had all that muck and everything on it. He said, I was swishing it through at the back of the boat, trying to get that muck and everything off. He said, I lost my balance. Well, when he lost his balance, it flipped me right out of the boat. Flipped the boat over and flipped me right out of the boat.
And you thought it was a monster?
I thought it was a lake monster got him. We laughed about that ever. It was funny. When we got home, of course, Dad, he'd taken all his clothes off because we was soaking wet, wrapped an Indian blanket around him. He gets out of the truck and he got an Indian blanket wrapped around him. All he's got on, and I'm soaked. Of course, I'm dry because I'm soaked. So, then Mom got to laughing. She laughed so hard she peed her pants. That was funny. That was the end of that fishing trip.
Let's do the racetrack parking ticket. Remember that one?
Oh no, this was Indianapolis at the
Indianapolis 500?
no at the fairgrounds at the Hot Rod Tractor Pulls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, me and Uncle Ern and Dave, Ern's oldest boy, we went to Indianapolis to the tractor pull. It was the big hot tractors, had jet engines on them.
That's crazy.
So we get there, we're standing in line waiting to get a ticket to get in. We just about got up there and they sold out. No more tickets. So you walk around the other end and you could see somewhat of the tractor pull. You know, I couldn't see none because I was so short, but Uncle Ern could see because he was taller.
Yeah.
And so I told her, and I said, go on up there so you can at least watch, you know, at least we'll make something out of it. Well, I walked up there to the fence. This guy, he gets a pass-out ticket where if you go out, you get this ticket. So he handed it through the fence to me. I went around, told her, and I said, here, take this, and at least you can get in and go sit down and watch the race. The tractor pull. So he goes around, he brings it around, passes it back through the fence to me, and I go around and I get in. I take it around, pass it back through the fence to Dave. So we're all in. We all got in on this one pass out ticket. So Dave takes it around and he passes it through to some other guy. All those people was outside the fence were all inside the fence with that one ticket.
That's awesome.
So we're sitting there watching this tractor pull. And these tractors, these wheels on these tractors spin 120 miles an hour. We're watching it, we're sitting in the grass. Pretty soon old Davey just flops over backwards and looks back and says, what's the matter with you? Comes up and beats his eyes all red and got dirt all in a big old chunk of dirt from one of them tractor wheels. He right square in the eye. But we watched tractor pull anyway. Being quite honest, but we see the tractor pull.
What's a bicycle ride?
What?
It's all it says is bicycle ride on here.
Bicycle ride.
Yeah, ride.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if they're talking about a motorcycle or. And then I'm supposed to ask you about the motorcycle chase.
Motorcycle chase.
I think I've heard this one. When your brother was in the army or whatever.
Yeah, I was only 14 years old. He left a 650 Triumph motorcycle. He had it hopped up. It'd run about 160.
Really?
But I was 14 years old, and Kenny and Steve both went to service. That motorcycle set up there for that. You know that tree that Kyle just cut down?
Mm-hmm.
It sat up there leaning against that tree.
Oh yeah.
So I went in one day and Dad was in there and I said, you reckon I can ride that motorcycle? Dad says, well, I don't know, go see. I went out there and I cranked and cranked and cranked and cranked on that motorcycle. Finally got it running.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my legs wasn't long enough to hit the ground, so I'd get it running and I'd just lean it away from that tree and let the clutch out and take off. Because I couldn't hold it up.
Yeah.
I rode that thing everywhere. Rode all over the pasture field, rode all over the yard, and everything, just rode everywhere. And pretty soon I'm out on the road riding. Did you find it?
No, not yet.
Anyway, I'm riding everywhere. Getting pretty good on it. It's got high handlebars on it.
Ape hangers?
Ape hangers.
Really?
I'm riding everywhere on this motorcycle.
I don't want to sit out there too long, I'll get his cold without a mask.
One day, I'm pretty good on this motorcycle. I can get through its paces pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Going out north of Lincolnville, and just before you get to the next crossroad out here, 400, the Hog Pike, there's a cop comes up to the, well, he'd look at me and tell I wasn't old enough to be riding a motorcycle. I made a U-turn, took off. Here they are, right on my butt, had the red lights a flashing, the sirens blowing. Man, I'm cranking her on. I come down through Lincolnville, boy, and that was a four-way stop, or a four-way stop then. I went through that like it wasn't even there. Down through there, and I couldn't get turned here, so I went up to 124, down 124, and back this way, and come in right here, and took off back to the woods. But they give up chasing me because I was going so fast. They give up chasing me. So I got up to the store, rode my bicycle up the store. Oh, Glenn McCarter owned the store. He said, "That's you on that motorcycle, wasn't it?" And I said, he said, "They come back here and stopped and asked me who it was." I told them I knew who it was. Said they had you clocked at 140 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
I said, "Yeah, I probably ought to stay on that motorcycle for a while."
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like you telling Tyler all these stories. It's just gonna encourage more, Dad.
This one says, head ducked from Dad.
Huh?
It says head ducked from Dad.
Go out to Pat Martin's.
I don't know.
That was just one that I was working on electricity in his hallway. That scaffold built up. And of course, to go down the steps, you could clear it, but I wasn't going down the steps. I was walking out this way, just about head high where the header is. And I just turned around and smacked my head right on that. Of course, whenever you smack your head out, it makes you mad.
Yeah.
Few choice words to say. And hadn't any more than got them out of my mouth, turned right around and did exactly the same thing. And they got a pretty good laugh out of that.
This one says water on sleigh.
That was a good story too.
Let's hear that one.
I had down here at the barn, this was a horse barn down here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it had a horse barn. Yeah, I had 10 thoroughbred racing horses that I got every year off of Wilford Laycock's in my job was to break them to ride. And so every evening, every morning, every evening, I would have to feed and water them horses and ride them, try to get them so I could break them to ride, and I'd break them to ride. Well, we had an ice storm come through. I mean, heavy ice. And no electricity, no water, no nothing. So, but I had to get water to them horses. I mean, them horses, you couldn't turn them loose. These thoroughbreds are high-strung horses. You
Yeah.
don't turn them loose, they stay in box stalls.
Mhm.
So I had the fire department come down, bring me a tank full of water to water these horses. They wouldn't drink that water. That was stale water, stagnated water. They wouldn't drink that.
Really?
Yeah. So Bill George, neighbor, lived over here where Noonans live. He had his old tractor set up over the well pit where he could run a belt down and run his pump with a belt drive off the tractor and pump water. But I had to get the water from over there over to these horses. So I had a two-man sled, just a regular long sled, and I had a big horse tank, and I put that on that horse tank. And the guy we rented stalls to had pulling ponies, a team of ponies that they'd go around and pull just like a horse pull or tractor pull or anything. Over this is pony pull.
Yeah.
So I got the idea, and I harnessed them ponies up to that sled, took off over there. I'm standing on the back, driving them ponies over there. We get over there, and I fill that horse tank full of water, or 3/4 full of water. Get on that back of that sled with these pulling ponies. Whenever they feel a little tug up behind them, they knew they had to get out and pull. Well, I snapped them old reins, and they felt that little tug, and down across the yard they come, down through the side ditch up on the road. I'm pulling on them, trying to stop them.
Yeah.
They ain't stopping for nothing. They're in a dead run all the way over here, across this field here, and down across into the. I had about that much water left in that tank when I got over there, and all of it was on me. I was froze stiff, which was cold outside. That guy come that evening, take care of his ponies. He says, "What's my ponies harnessed up out there in the arena for?" I said, "You're lucky that ponies ain't dead." Well, I ended up having to go out and take a pick. You know what a pick is?
Yeah. An ice
A
pick.
dirt pick,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah.
picking big chunks of ice, and then I'd throw it. I built me a fire under that horse tank, and I'd throw that ice in them horse tank, in that horse tank, and melt that ice.
Mhm.
So I'd get enough water
Yeah.
to water them horses.
Did they drink that?
Oh, you drink that. I'd get a big old 5-gallon bucket, and them horses just stick their head down there and just go. That bucket full would be gone. But that was my main job for 4 days. Do nothing but melt. I had fire in all the time, melting water and getting ice, getting enough water for them horses.
Romeo?
It was constantly all the time. You just kept it going all the time. Never slept, just kept ice melting all the time.
Okay. Romeo,
This one seems pretty interesting. It says bomb and tree.
And,
I don't know whether you want to hear that story or not.
Oh, I do.
Zimmer Stop, Zimmer Holding. And we have been on hunt for this. We have called, this is our third night, we've been on for an hour on hold only. And they finally told me that this is the number that I should call, and then we call this number here. 765-981-2996. Okay, he is here, so if you need his approval to talk to me, that's fine, but he needs to liquidate his holdings. Yes, I talked to somebody, her name was Sharon at that place, who has no record of it. but I'm looking at a statement as of 6/30/2012 that shows us from you guys that we have money. So somewhere between you and them, it's missing.
Just good.
Yes, I did, and she told me that I had to talk to you guys and then ask for a supervisor with you guys, because they have no record. Um, 765-981-2996. The what number? No. If it's X3825, yes. Nope, it's not on this. I'm looking at the statement, it doesn't, I don't see one on here. Ernest, E-R-N-E-S-T, E as in Edward. Ernest, E-R-N-E-S-T, Edward, or just the letter E, Powell, P-O-W-E-L-L. Thank you.
Just wait on the time for. Look, it's 50.6 thousand dollars. Wow, just wait on the phone. Jeff on. Look at this. They're chilling in the game.
Really? That's bad, bitch.
He told you about the barn doors, right?
This guy.
Oh, no, I haven't got that story yet.
Not yet.
Is he famous or something?
I don't know.
Is that a rapper or something? I think it is a rapper.
I think it is too.
So, you're big,
What about the dynamite?
beating friend now.
No, that was gonna be the next one.
He's followed me a while ago. I'm not getting anything. That's the. I should follow her so she like, or unfollow her so she only has 172.
What? He's on Twitter, cool.
I like it.
Better than Facebook.
Yeah, I like it.
What's that on the different thing?
It's just a whole bunch of stats. It's,
It says employee
Wasn't-
stock plan.
Like, what made that better?
I don't know. It's just nice. I don't know. It's just stupid. It's harder to get followers on Facebook than it is
Is it?
friends on Facebook.
Is that 800-748-9667?
Not really. It's harder to get followers.
Yes, a lady named
Then
Melanie
it's friends on
just
Facebook.
transferred me, or was supposed to have transferred me, and I held for another 15 minutes at least.
Oh, you know what
I have been on this phone for an
174
hour
followers.
holding.
How long? Have you had it then?
Okay,
4 or 5
thank you.
months.
A lot, how long?
Ouch.
Lot.
Where's Grandma?
Outside,
Are you at home?
again.
You ain't gonna find it, are you?
My friend,
Yeah, oh yeah, we will.
friend,
Do I have to get not nice? Probably.
I was like,
We do have a lawyer.
5,000 friends.
Who?
My friend
It's crazy.
on Twitter.
No. What's his name?
I was like, Twitter.
Twitter name?
Yeah.
You ready for another story?
Yeah, I guess.
'Cause I'm pretty pumped about this bombing in Shreveport. I wanna hear this one.
Yes.
That's a good one. That one and
Sounds like
the other one's a
The
good.
barn doors?
Yeah.
I like the barn doors.
What? You hear the barn door one?
Yeah,
Oh, you already heard it?
yeah.
Okay.
I like listening to it though.
Well, one with the, well, wait, Jossie gets out here.
Alright.
Okay, so 1, 2, and then count.
So what do you guys do?
What do we do?
You go to school with you?
Yeah, he goes to school with me. We play basketball together.
Okay, I know, I've seen you play quite a few times. Most of you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Who's here?
No.
On
Yeah, I heard. We played that tournament on Saturday. You remember? And I had to come. I only played one game.
Yeah.
They lost by 1 point the second game.
Yeah, you'd be in there, wouldn't they? Don't you?
Yeah.
They might have lost by 10 if you'd have been
Yeah.
there. Hey, you go over there, cool.
First game, he was
Go turn her out, would
slow.
you?
Yeah.
So you wanna go say?
Hey, hurry up and come back to here. It's a
Only-
bomb and tree store.
Only had 10 points out first game.
Who?
You?
I thought I had like 12.
No, that's what I heard. 10.
That's horrible, man. Played horrible.
I'm surprised
I had
Which one you wanna hear first, the barn door or the
more
Let's
than
do the bomb one.
bomb one?
Yes.
Bomb one.
Well, one day, a friend of mine was on Halloween night. Well, the word was that the kids were gonna tear Lincolnville all to pieces on Halloween night. Because Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you did destructive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, but
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
my friends all did.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, this particular night, we was going to town, we was going bowling. Me and Roger Dunbar and Doug Barton, which is a preacher now.
Yeah.
So, I goes to, after Roger pulls up in his driveway and the state cop pulls up and his driveway right behind me.
This lady told me to call this
Well,
number.
Like I said, I
This
just,
is the same
just
number
to
as
have a
already called,
driver's
I guess you
license.
recognize it.
Comes up there and he pecks on the window and
Told me I had to call this number again.
I roll the
because
window
it's
down and I said,
number
"We
2
need-"
Instead of number 1.
he said, I need to see your driver's license and registration. I said, what for?
And yeah, I've been on the phone on hold for over an hour.
He got smart with me. So I showed him to him. And I said,
wanna take it with you?
what'd I do wrong? He said, nothing. He said, your license plate is all wrong. Well, then it dawned on me, all he wanted to know is who I was, you know, which I didn't care, except it was a little intimidating, you know. So I thought, well, I'm son of a gun, I'll fix them. So just before that, we had the bulldozer, we was clearing the woods over here by Meartown. And whoever would have started clearing that woods before us left a 50-pound box of pound sticks of dynamite in that woods, which was not the right thing to do around me. So I took that dynamite and put it up there in the barn. So I thought, well, I'll fix them. So I went and got me some binder twine. And you know what binder twine is, goes around the bale of hay.
Uh-huh.
So I took that pound stick of dynamite and tied that binder twine around it and went back there at that ravine that echoes right into Lincolnville. Strung it up in that tree and hung it up in that tree. Had a fuse and back then you didn't have electric caps, it was fuse caps. where you had to light a fuse. So I stuck that cap down in that. That was your igniter for your dynamite. You stuck that cap down in your dynamite and then stuck your fuse on the end of the cap and crimped that on the end of the cap.
Mhm.
And when you let the fuse, you took it off running, and the fuse got to the end, it ignited the cap, which ignited the dynamite.
Mhm.
I hung it up there and lit that thing off, and we'd come running up here, and I turned around and was watching it. Nothing happened.
Really?
So went sneaking back to it. Well, it's about like sneaking up on a big firecracker.
Yeah.
This big firecracker.
Yeah.
Snuck back there, it burnt right down into the fuse and never went off. I pulled that out of there and dug that old fuse out of there, put another fuse down there, and this time I had a short fuse on it. The old fuse I had left. Stuck that down in there and I lit that off, took off running. Turn around and pretty soon the biggest ball of fire you ever seen in your life. Still didn't hear nothing. You could see it.
Mhm.
Then the ground started shaking. The sound was getting there. It shook the windows, it shook. It was 10 times louder than I ever thought it was.
Really?
Yeah. It was like the sneak attack on Pearl Harbor. We attacked at Hiroshima.
Yeah.
It was a lot bigger than what we expected.
It's crazy.
Steve, he was up here working on the dozer. He jumps in his car, takes off to Lincolnville. Everybody, the cops is running all over. Everybody's trying to find out what blew up. Something blew up, but nobody knew what it was, except 3 of us.
It was
Three
you.
that knew what it was.
So you guys got together and did it? It wasn't
Me-
just you?
Me and Roger and Doug
No.
Martin.
Really?
Awesome.
Tell him what Steve did when he found you, though.
What?
He knew that you guys had done
Oh,
something
yeah,
by
he
the
knew
look
we
on your
did.
face.
He just didn't know what we did. So, man, that was quite an explosion. Them cops was running everywhere. I said, I'll teach them to mess with me.
Let's hear that barn door one now.
Well, this one, Dad always brought feed home for the horses. Brought it in 50-pound bags of, called an omeline. It was corn and oats and molasses and everything mixed up together.
My name is Erica.
Real nourishment for horses. And you'd give them you'd feed them horses a scoop of omeline and then a scoop of corn and a scoop of oats. Mix that all together for horses. It was horse feed. And it really gave them a shiny coat and really made them nice. Well, we just built brand new barn doors for the barn. Not this barn, but the old barn. And put new barn doors on. These were big doors, great big doors. So anyway, Dad, he pulls up in the car, 56 soda. I must have been 12, 13 years old. I jumped the car, man, I shoot her around the barn lot and spin her around a little bit. And go back up the door, and I'm backing up the door.
How do you pause it? Just shut it?
Probably get verification.
Hello,
Or mom.
Oh,
Mom,
Ernest Powell.
how do you pause it?